I am going to show you the right way to pack a moving box so that there's less chance of having anything get broken. Here are my 7 tips to pack a moving box the right way. Step number 5 is the one that I see most people get wrong. Hi, I'm Sheila, and even though my family and I have moved 10 times in the past 10 years without ever hiring a professional moving company, I can honestly say that we have never had an item break during a move. And while I can't make any promises or guarantee results, what I can do is show you the system that has gotten us through these 10 moves without ever having anything get broken. There are 2 main reasons why items in a moving box might break. Number 1 is that the box has not been filled properly, and number 2 is that the items have not been wrapped properly. Fortunately, in this system, we're going to solve for both of those problems. So here are my 7 tips to pack a moving box the right way. Step 1 is to gather all of your supplies, and I've actually made an entire video about the supplies that you might need. I will link that here. To pack a box using this system, you're going to need some basics, such as obviously boxes, tape, packing material, black markers, and colored duct tape. Your boxes can be recycled or store-bought. I recommend keeping all of your moving supplies together in one place, like a tote or a box that you can carry from room to room with you. Step 2 is to choose the right size box. Heavy items go in small boxes, light items go in larger boxes. So if you're packing books, those are always going to go in small boxes. I know it can be tempting to take an extra large box and load it up with all of your favorite books, but whoever ends up lifting that box is not going to be very happy with you. So keep in mind, the heavier the item, the smaller the box. Using the right size box for the items that you're packing not only helps the boxes to be easier to lift and carry, but it also reduces the chance of anything breaking. Step number 3 is to tape the bottom of the box. You don't ever want to use masking tape or painter's tape to tape your box closed. You're going to use the packing tape to hold the bottom of the box so that the bottom doesn't fall out when you lift the box. So if you have a box like this that you bought new from the store, before you pack it, you want to tape the bottom, not the top. I know it might not sound like a big deal to tape it upside down and tape the top and then pack it from the bottom, but it's really important to tape the bottom so that you can pack your heaviest items on the bottom, which leads us to step 4. Number 4 is to pack starting with the heaviest items first. You're going to look at your pile of what it is that you're packing, pick the heaviest thing, and that's going to go in the bottom of the box. So when I look at my pile over here, that white toy box is the heaviest of the items, and that's going to go in the box first. And then you're going to stack everything else around it. And then I'm going to fill in all the space around that heaviest item, making sure that there's no dead space in the box. And I'm filling up every little area in the box. Step number 5 is the one that I see most people get wrong, and that is you want to make sure that the box is full, completely full. Notice I said full and not stuffed. It doesn't need to be exploding out the top. You want to be able to seal the top. You want all of the inside area of the box to be as full as possible. And that's going to not only save you boxes and save you room on the moving truck, but it is also going to protect your items, because if there's enough room for them to shift around inside the box, you have an increased chance of your box getting crushed and things inside of it getting broken. So if I see extra space, I'm going to put more things in there and keep filling that space until it's completely full. There's still plenty of room in the top of the box, so I'm going to go find some more items to add in here. And then I'm just going to keep checking to see if I can close the flaps. It's getting pretty close, but there's still a little space on one end here. So I'm going to add a couple more toys. And with your packing material, you're going to wrap fragile items carefully. There was a fragile item that was going to go in this box, and so what I would do is just make sure that I wrap it really well in packing material. So I wrapped it in packing paper, and now I'm going to bury it deep inside of all the stuffed animals, and they're also going to act as padding for the fragile item. So you want to make sure that you've wrapped the fragile item and that it is surrounded by things that can give it some cushion. Okay, so now the box is completely full. There's no dead space. My fragile items have been carefully wrapped and placed inside something that can cushion them. The flaps close flat, which is a good thing, but there's still some give right here in the middle. So if you press, the middle goes in, and you don't want that to happen. When you press on the top of the box, there shouldn't be any give to it. It should be completely solid. If the flaps close, but when you press down, there's some give to them, you're going to want to put a piece of cardboard or something else hard. It can be a book, it can be a cookie sheet. It's going to create that hard surface for you to close the box. So I'm going to find something hard. In this case, I'm going to use a book. And now when I press down, there's no give. It's nice and solid. So now this is a box that you're going to be able to stack other things on top of, and it's not going to get crushed. You could also put a flattened box here or a piece of cardboard here, basically anything just to give this middle of the box more support and structure, because you don't want there to be any give right here in the middle of the box. Here are a few examples of items that you can use to make the top of your box nice and solid. A piece of cardboard or a broken down box, a cooling rack, a cutting board, basically anything that's going to give you a nice solid surface, something that's not fragile, because you don't want your box to collapse. Collapsed boxes make for broken items. Gotten any value out of this video, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button so that I can help more people. Thank you so much. Now on to the next tip. Step number 6 is to seal the top of the box with your clear packing tape. I really like this Scotch brand, not sponsored, but I think that this is a great brand to hold the box closed. And it's okay to go a little overboard on the tape, better too much than too little, but you want to make sure that the top and the bottom of your box is sealed with some clear tape. And you want to try to get the pieces of cardboard to line up as much as possible in the middle to get them to touch if you can. Once again, don't seal your box with masking tape, painter's tape, or duct tape. You're going to use the clear packing tape instead. So that's a really good looking box. It's nice and full, there's no give, it's taped really well. And now the only thing we have left to do is to label it. And step number 7 is to label and inventory your box. And I did a whole video about my color-coded labeling system, which I will link over here. But basically you're gonna have a different color for every room in the new place that you're moving into. And then as you pack the boxes in your current place, you're going to put a corresponding color of duct tape on the corner of each box and on the top of the box. So 3 pieces of duct tape for every box that you pack. So I'm gonna color code this box. I'm gonna grab 3 pieces of the colored duct tape. One goes on top of the box, one goes here, and then one goes here. Then you're going to write the number of the box on each piece of duct tape and then record the contents of the box into your moving inventory. And this was the second box that I packed, so it's going to be box number 2. So I'm going to write a number 2 with my Sharpie on all the different sides, on the top, on this side, and on this side. Again, I explained all of this in my color coding video, and if you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend you check it out for the most organized move possible. So now that you know the 7 steps to pack a box the right way, the next question is, where do you start packing? In this next video, I'm going to walk you through the process of packing up your house to minimize disruption to your daily life. We're going to go room by room, and I'm going to show you the most streamlined way to pack your house, especially if you're just getting started and you feel overwhelmed. Because sometimes the hardest part is just knowing where to start. I'll meet you there.